Let's start with the most well-known superpower cats have, and then shatter everything you thought you knew about it, that you've probably heard that cats can see in the dark. That's both true and slightly misleading. Cats cannot see in total darkness, but they can see clearly in light that is 6 times dimmer than what humans require to see anything at all. Cat cognition, so while we be stumbling around in a dim room, your cat is navigating it as clearly as if the lights were on. How? Three things working together in perfect biological harmony. First, cat retinas pack rod photoreceptors at a peak density of 460,000 per square millimeter, roughly 3 times the human peak of approximately 160,000. Second, each rod cell is capable of registering a single photon of light. Third, a reflective tissue layer called the tapetum lucidum bounces unabsorbed photons back through the retina for a second pass at detection. Cat cognition, that tapetum lucidum, that's the reason your cat's eyes glow an eerie green or yellow in photos. Cat's eyes glow because the tapetum lucidum bounces light back through the eye twice, significantly enhancing night vision and helping cats see in conditions where humans would struggle completely. The refined feline, and there's one more trick. The vertical slit pupils of domestic cats undergo a 135-fold change in area between fully constricted and fully dilated states, while human circular pupils manage only a 15-fold change. Cat cognition, that 9 times greater range, means your cat can go from blazing sunlight to near blackness without missing a beat. So when your cat is staring at nothing in a dim room late at night, it may very well be staring at something. A moth on the ceiling, a spider on the wall, a shadow shifting from a passing car outside. To you, nothing. To your cat, a full cinematic scene. If your cat's vision is impressive, their hearing is otherworldly. According to Cats Protection, cats hear things in the ultrasonic range that humans simply cannot detect. They also have an 8-octave hearing range, hearing both higher and lower than many other mammals. Hill's Pet Nutrition, to put that in perspective. Humans hear sounds roughly between 20 Hz and 20,000 Hz. Cats can hear frequencies reaching up to 65,000 Hz, well into the ultrasonic zone. Why did evolution build this into them? Because their prey, mice, rats, and other small rodents, communicate using high-pitched ultrasonic squeaks that are completely silent to human ears. The ability to hear ultrasonic sounds is critical for cats hunting small rodents, which communicate using high-pitched squeaks. The shape of their ears, coupled with their ability to rotate them independently, allows for precise localization of sound. Even slight variations in sound intensity and timing are amplified, giving them a detailed auditory map of their surroundings. Yeah, this is why your cat sometimes tilts its head at the wall and stares with that laser focus. Your cat's ears are constantly scanning the environment, picking up ultrasonic squeaks from rodents, high-pitched electronic hums, or insects moving inside walls. When your cat tilts its head and stares at what appears to be nothing, it is responding to sound you physically cannot hear. Plumbing noises, foundations shifting, or wildlife create a constant soundtrack that is, to you, complete silence, but to your cat, a flood of information. The refined feline, think about that. Right now, as you sit in your quiet house, your cat is probably listening to a symphony, and you don't hear a single note of it. Here's where things get truly strange. Cats don't just see and hear the world differently. They feel it differently, using a sense organ that humans don't have at all. Those whiskers aren't just decorations, and they're not just for measuring gaps. Cats' whiskers, aided by their tails, can sense airflow around objects. This is actually how eyeless cats navigate. They have whiskers on their faces and on their paws. Core of the whiskers are packed with sensitive nerve endings that detect the tiniest disturbance in air currents, so fine that a moth flying 3 feet away creates a detectable ripple, a passing insect, a heating vent draft, or even your own subtle movements create air currents that your cat's whiskers immediately register. The refined feline, this creates a kind of 3-dimensional spatial awareness that humans simply don't have. Your cat doesn't just navigate by sight. It builds a living, breathing map of the room using invisible currents of air. This also explains one of the creepiest cat behaviors, when your cat seems to track something floating through the air that you can't see. It's not a ghost. It's an insect or a draft or a subtle change in the airflow from your breathing, and your cat's whiskers are picking up every microsecond of it. Not only can cats sense things outside the limits of human perception through sight and sound, but they can feel movement and obstacles spatially in a way that has nothing to do with seeing or hearing at all. Cora, here's something that will change the way you look at your home. Your living room, right now, might be full of flickering, strobing light, and you have absolutely no idea. Cats can detect changes in light, such as the subtle flickering of fluorescent bulbs, as well as more accurately judge distance. While cats may not see colors as richly as humans, their sharper vision allows them to pick up on these rapid visual changes that our eyes simply cannot process fast enough to notice. Kinship standard fluorescent lights, and even some LED bulbs, flicker at high frequencies when they cycle on and off with alternating current. Humans can't see this because our visual processing speed isn't fast enough, but cats can. To a cat, a fluorescent-lit room might look like a very fast, subtle strobe light show. Some researchers believe this is why cats sometimes act agitated or strange in certain lighting conditions. They're literally experiencing a flicker that we can't perceive. Cats can see in light conditions 6 to 8 times dimmer than humans, and their visual spectrum extends in directions that allow them to detect things invisible to us. PetScare combined with their superior motion detection. This means your cat may be reacting to visual stimuli in your everyday environment that you've never even imagined were there. Next time your cat seems spooked by a lamp or stares oddly at the ceiling light, consider that it might be seeing something very real that your eyes simply aren't built to process. This one sounds like something out of a fantasy novel, but the science is real and it's fascinating. Your cat might actually be able to feel the weather changing before it happens. Science is divided on the existence of many supernatural phenomena, but what we do know is that cats are capable of detecting even the slightest change in barometric pressure. While a cat's ability to predict storms and other natural occurrences might seem psychic, it's actually their superb sensitivity to changes in weather. Cat in a flat when a storm is approaching, barometric pressure, the weight of the atmosphere, begins to drop hours before the first raindrop falls. Humans can't feel this, but cats, with their extremely sensitive inner ears and nervous systems, appear to register it. This may explain why cats sometimes become restless, skittish, or unusually clingy before a thunderstorm, and why your cat seems to know before you do that bad weather is coming. While there's no scientific evidence that cats can predict the weather with certainty, they are very sensitive to changes in atmospheric pressure. And that's just the beginning. There's also emerging scientific interest in the idea that animals, including cats, can sense pre-seismic activity or subtle vibrations related to earthquakes before humans detect them. Some theories suggest they may be sensitive to changes in electrical fields or the release of gases from the Earth, while others propose they could detect subtle ground vibrations that precede larger tremors. So when your cat starts acting strange and restless for no apparent reason, it might be worth looking out the window or, checking earthquake reports.